Anyhow, our Thursday session of mindfulness. Pravrti and Nivrati. Remember this clearly in our life, in day to day. We want peace. The mind says, I have to do something. Let me practice meditation. Let me relax. I have to earn money. Let me run. Let me become workaholic. So the tendency of the mind moving outside in thought, in speech and activity takes us too far from our real nature. I'm doing some activity and I get a success, I get 1 client, 5 clients, I succeed, I'm earning more money. Just an example. Now the mind gets habituated to work more. Take another example. I want to help people in this world. So I helped a couple of people, I talked to them, I guided them, and they succeed in their life. So the mind is again habituated to move outward in the thought, in the speech and action. And that keeps the mind always busy. And the busy mind cannot succeed in meditation. The root is known as pravrti, the outward moving mind, engaged and involved and attached in activities that we like, we love to do. It may be the best thing to do, for example, the social service. It may be the best thing to do in life to help people. But then we will not evolve and progress because the mind is heavily conditioned. See the other part of it. How I have been eating hot sauce, my stomach is disturbed, I leave it completely. So it's a withdrawal. So it is the withdrawal from the mind. The involved moving mind is there, but it is the withdrawal for the sake of keeping this body alive. I was, just take an example, I used to eat beef. One woman told me in New Jersey, oh, I heard that, you have to be totally vegetarian. So I left everything. And after 2 weeks, she came back to me, I was feeling very weak. I ate beef again. Is it a sin? I said no. You help survive your body, that is one thing, and so the withdrawal also causes the stress and the outward moving mind also causes the stress. Whether I perform an action or whether I live in inaction. What is the way? So the Master says, neither action nor inaction leads to awakening of the peace. And also, I am doing meditation for 10 years. And what I am doing for 10 years, the moment I sit in meditation, my mind is constantly wandering. I am chanting some mantras. This mantra is very powerful, nothing happens. 10 years. I am not doing any meditation. Why? It's a crazy thing to do. Why? It is better to be engaged in some activity. So the masters of the Eastern wisdom explain in detail a clear understanding of action and inaction. They talk about right action. The fourth noble path of Eightfold Noble Path of the Buddhism is also known as right action. And that right action springs from the right knowledge. And the right knowledge is nothing but about separating real from the unreal, false from the truth. I'll explain one more principle and then we will do the practice. Separating, the most important principle is known as viveka. Viveka Sanskrit means to separate. So let us go a little deeper. In ancient India, the people used to eat lot of sesame seed and rice. So the mother asked the boy, go to the shop, buy rice and sesame seed. So the boy bought, put it into the same bag, it got mixed up, and mother sighed, no, now separate it. So that is one lowest step of viveka, to understand what exactly is viveka. From the right thinking to the wrong thinking, from the right action to the wrong action, from the right inaction to the wrong inaction. So very low level. Sesame seed, rice. We know the properties, attributes and the qualities of both, so we can easily separate. So this is by the name of sesame seed and the rice, the master started saying this is the lowest level of viveka. There is a little complex process to separate milk from the water. We know the attributes of milk, water, properties, so we can easily separate. What we are separating here, what is that viveka? Once we understand and keep in mind, the meditation or mindfulness becomes a play and a fun. So, one example is always given by the masters when we become a seeker. And that example is rope and the snake. A guy walking in the evening saw a snake in the rope. Now see, we started with sugar and rice and sesame seed, milk in the water. Now I see the snake in a rope. Snake does not exist. Only the rope exists. I have to separate ignorance from the wisdom. The moment the ignorance is understood, it disappears. You don't have a separation of rice and the sesame seed. Now the ignorance is not there. Look at the example. So he saw the snake, and so the master said, okay, bring the torch, put the light there. It's only rope. Do you ask where the snake has gone? You don't ask. Do you ask where the ignorance has gone? You don't ask. That is why Buddha says mindfulness is an effortless process. You need to understand, you should have a right perspective. You should have a wisdom that how this ignorance is separated. The moment it is separated, it disappears. That's why another example people gave, masters give of the darkness and the light. You switch on, you don't throw the darkness outside. It is already gone. You don't ask where the darkness is gone. Now there is a light. Similarly, that point of wisdom is required in awakening to our true nature. That exactly is the state of mindfulness. That exactly is the state of meditation. Now see, what action you need to do in order to remove the ignorance, what action you need to do to throw the darkness. So here the Master concludes, either by lot of action or by inaction you cannot achieve to the higher state. It is only by understanding, contemplation, reflection, and the regular practice. And what is that practice? That practice is meditation. So breathing, we are performing an action. That is why I have been telling that any breathing practice helps you to attain a remarkable focus of the mind, and it removes the veil of ignorance, but it falls short to achieve the meditative state. You may experience something very good. You use the mantra, any tool that is a part of the action helps purify the mind. The mind becomes totally pure, neither it moves into nivrati, inward inaction, nor it moves to the pravrati. That transitional state of mind helps us to achieve the state of mindfulness. Pay always attention, remember this, rope and the snake, sky is blue. But I now know from the science that the sky is not exactly blue, and still it appears blue. But now I know it, so I have no doubt. Now I know it is a rope, it is not a snake. So the fear dispels completely. That is why the Master says there are two-step process. You bring an end to the suffering first through the meditation, and after that you awaken to the true nature. So with that understanding, let us start our journey today. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and just see, we can use some active processes to help purify the mind. So just start with an active process. Eyes are closed, you're comfortable, and you start breathing slow and quick breath from the chest for a minute. Just enjoy, continue breathing. Let us do it today for 2 minutes until the experience inside the head changes. Let us do that. See that what happens? Good, continue. 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 Even the mind that does not want to do the breathing, he likes it, but still, see that? Action and inaction. So mind distracts us, and if we persist, that is known as titiksha. And stop this. Just experience. So after doing this breathing practice, it becomes very easy to be comfortable. I told you the breathing helps to get a remarkable focus of the mind, and it starts dispelling, removes the veil of ignorance, the very projection of the mind that is seeking pleasure and happiness outside in things, people, and object. There comes being comfortable. Look at the neck joint. Feel the sensation. Be comfortable. And a sense of steadiness comes. That steadiness has to do with our true nature. Nothing is steady and still except the true nature. So the mind is reflecting that steadiness in the body. That is the key. Look at the shoulder joints, feel the sensation, being comfortable and steady. I'm not saying you to do anything. You see, silently we are working on the mind through an action and then inaction. Now this inaction is full of wisdom. So there the viveka comes. Look at the hip joints. Just experience. Awareness and experience and knowledge. All three go together. You feel the sensation? Okay. It is comfortable? Yes. And there is a steadiness? Yes. How easy? But the mind is distracted. Mind still thinks. Habitually, conditionally, what should I do? How should I do? Where should I do? Or it starts falling into unconscious sleep. These two movements of the mind cannot help us succeed in mindfulness. We are getting rid of it. The entire body, move the mind from the top to the toes. Feel the sensation, being comfortable, and experience the steadiness. Now see, being comfortable, that passive step is for the higher level of seekers. So that is why I combine the breathing today. We will still go for an active step. So first there will be two active steps combined together. Pay attention. Start breathing deep, silent and slow. First into the belly, then into the rib cage, up to the throat, lips remain together, and while breathing out, make the humming sound, keeping your awareness and attention inside the forehead. Wonderful. Please take your time. You should not be in a hurry to inhale. Inhale silent, deep, slow breath. And once it is done, then again make the humming sound. That's really good. Continue. Wonderful. Please continue. Now stop this humming. Again we will move towards inaction. Conditional inaction is sleep, unconsciousness, habitual movement of the mind. But this is a conscious withdrawal of the mind from outside. Again leads to inaction. But we will move into a new experience. Look at the head and the neck now. Pay attention, that very humming prevents the distraction of the mind. If it is not, we should be doing it little more for a longer period. But anyhow, look at the head and the neck. 3 points: awareness, experience, knowledge. There is a sensation and there is also a relaxation. The mind should be educated in the practice of mindfulness, that withdrawal of the mind from outside to inside instantly brings a state of relaxation. That is what we are doing. Look at the right arm. Awareness, experience of sensation, steadiness is there, and relaxation. We are not in a hurry. Check that. If the mind is in a hurry, it is still habituated action. The body will stop moving naturally. And if the mind is still moving outside, it will surely move your body. Just understand that point. Very understanding will stop the movement of the body. Look at the left arm. Awareness, yes, the shape of the left arm. Experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Again, pay attention. This is not physiological relaxation, not biochemical, not neuropsychological, but it comes from our true nature. We did nothing. Look at the chest and the belly. Chest and the belly, awareness, knowledge and experience. Again, at a very subtle level, we are doing a viveka. That is what I explained before. At a very subtle level, we are separating the two, the ignorance and the wisdom. Looking at the chest and the belly, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. What should I do now? The mind says nothing. And if the mind really says nothing, you are there. You are transcending both action and inaction. The most important point, you guys are very close to me, most important point, that now the existence is expressing relaxation and the stillness. You allowed it to express. So whether we express happiness or peace in action or inaction, we are there in meditation. Keep that awareness. Look at the right leg. We're just moving, action, inaction, action, active, passive, active, passive. But we want to find the middle point. Look at the right leg, awareness, knowledge and experience. Sensation, relaxation and stillness. Left leg, sensation, relaxation and stillness. The entire body. Meditation is one, approaches are many. So looking at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, sensation, relaxation and stillness, a point from where in that state of sensation, relaxation and stillness, we'll again introduce one active step. But this time, this active step is very subtle. We need to play with the mind. We need not to do the active step that may help the mind to return to its habitual action. So there are many ways of doing it. Let us use the breath today. The moment the breath goes in and comes out, become aware of the two aspects. We are already aware, inhalation and exhalation. We will perform one action on the inhalation first, and will continue to experience a state of an action, a natural exhalation. So first point, maintain your awareness on the breath going in, coming out. Going in, coming out. Going in, coming out, but no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, please. Pay attention. Because we don't want this mind should fall into sleep or some habituated movement. So what should we do? We want to remain aware. In the moment the breath goes in, drop. Sound mentally Shantoham. And when the breath returns, maintain your awareness of the passive state of the mind. In that passive state of the mind, the breath returns. Breath again goes in Shantoham, comes out, passive state. Very subtle, but still active step. Active and the passive both go together. See that. Let me explain your state. In the state of sensation, relaxation and stillness. In the state of sensation, relaxation and stillness, you are aware of the body, you are aware of the breath, and You are aware of the breath and inhalation. You made it as an active step of Shantoham. The breath returns. You made it a passive step. So what will happen? The mind will understand. Still there is a state in between action and inaction. So awareness, knowledge and experience. I'm using these words to help our mind understand and appreciate. And when it understands and appreciates, you start working on the mind and the thing becomes easy. In that state of sensation, relaxation and stillness, you are aware of the breath going in and out. The incoming breath is with an active step of Shantoham. An outgoing breath just as a witness of the passive state of the mind. So the outward moving breath is helping us as a passive state of the mind. Here comes the Tantra says, if you do the reverse, you'll have a different experience. Let us do it. Inhalation, a passive state. You watch, you witness. Breathing out, Shantoham. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So, it is something you wake up from the deep and refreshing sleep, inhalation, and then you become active, Shantoham. The path of the knowledge does not like to say that whether you do it with the inhalation and exhalation. But Tantra says yes. Why? Tantra moves with every experience, new experiences. And the path of the knowledge moves with the right perception in the knowledge. You're watching the breath going in, a state of passivity, in the state of sensation, relaxation and stillness in the body. And then you introduce an activity when the breath returns, saying Shantoham on that breath. We'll follow the Tantra principle here. Tantra says during exhalation you use any mantra, it's lead to a deeper experience. A deeper passive experience. When you use it during inhalation, it leads to an active, dynamic experience. Tantra says action in inaction and inaction in action. What that means, the breath goes in, drop Shantoham, but witness that you are not changing the breath. Breath returns, dropping Shantoham, witness the breath. You are not changing the breath. So when you are not changing the breath, a state of inaction is there, and still you are dropping Shantoham. I'm simplifying. In the path of the knowledge, you witness the breath going in and out. Mantra is done by the mind. The body is in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and you are witness of all the three. In Tantra, we say the breath, there is no I that moves the breath, so inaction. And there is a subtle I that drops Shantoham, action. It is the same thing. But it all depends on our temperament, our level of evolution, our state of the mind, which practice is given. In mantra yoga, we lay more importance on the meaning and the essence. See that Shantoham means I'm the peace. So every time the breath goes in and you're dropping Shantoham, you look inside the forehead and the heart that I am the peace. That is how the mantra yoga meditation works. And now drop the mantra. Do nothing. A state of doing nothing means inaction, but fully aware. A state of being. Sarve bhavantu Santu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhave Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring your mind on the right palm, your mind on the left palm. Lift both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down.